Now, today we are going to talk about sleep paralysis. But before that, let me talk about nightmares. I'm sure all of us know what a nightmare is. It is a bad or unpleasant dream which often causes fear or anxiety or even great sadness. Often, when a person has a nightmare, he wakes up feeling scared or anxious and cannot go back to sleep for a short period of time. Now, sleep paralysis is something different. Some people might know about this and might have even experienced it. Now, during sleep paralysis, a person is very much awake, but he cannot move his body. He's aware of what's going on around. His eyes could even be open, but yet he cannot move his muscles or his body. Researchers believe that sleep paralysis is caused by a disturbed rapid eye movement cycle. Sleep paralysis usually happens about 90 minutes after you've fallen asleep. During this stage, your brain paralyzes your muscles and makes it unable to move them. Is there any other explanation to this other than the scientific explanation? Well, I'm not really sure, but let me share my experience with you. Now, this happened a long time ago. I was staying in a hostel during summer vacations. Why? Because we had to attend coaching classes to prepare for the 12th board exams. So other than me, there were 3 other girls, my friends, who were there in the hostel. Now, this place where we were staying, it had 2 levels. The ground floor, half a portion was a clinic and the other half was the residence of the warden where they all lived. And the top portion they had converted into a hostel, a girls' hostel. During that time, it was just 4 of us and our cook and cleaner who were on the first floor, and a warden was residing with her family in the ground floor. We were 2 in a room each, and there was nobody else in the hostel at that time. We used to go for our classes early morning, sometimes together, sometimes separate, because it depended on which subject was being taught that day. Now, that morning, I very clearly remember, it was about 6 in the morning. I was sleeping still. It was not my subject that day. My friend was getting ready to leave and I was awake. I did wish her good morning and then I said have a good day, and I even remember saying bye to her, and I covered my face with a blanket and went back to sleep. I could even hear my friend closing the door behind her. Just about 10 seconds later, I could feel something was not right. The bed was made of metal. It creaked a bit. I was sleeping sideways with my whole face covered with a blanket. Then I could feel someone putting one knee on one side and slowly trying to climb on top and put the other knee on the other side, as though the person is trying to sit on me. I was a bit confused. And then the person actually tried to squeeze harder. I tried to remove the blanket, but I couldn't move. I tried really hard, but I couldn't move the blanket. The person was now squeezing me so hard, I was curled up like a baby in the mother's womb. I couldn't breathe. It was getting so hard. I was so scared. At that time, I could only think of God the Almighty. I started praying, chanting God's name. It went on for a few seconds, and then I could slowly feel the person, whoever it is or whatever it is, releasing the grip. I could slowly breathe, and then I could feel the person getting off of me and then from the bed, because the bed creaked again. I removed the blanket, I jumped out of bed, I looked around, hoping it was still my friend trying to play a prank, but there was no one. I went outside my room, I checked the whole floor. There was nobody in the entire floor, not even the cook or cleaner or anyone. I was shaken. I didn't know what to do. Still praying, I ran back to my room, freshened up quickly, changed my dress, and I got out of that place because I was literally scared and I didn't want to be alone. I went to a restaurant, I sat down, I had a cup of coffee, and I stayed out for some time. When I returned, the girls were back. I still didn't tell them that this happened to me because I didn't want to scare them, or probably I was thinking that they may not even believe me. So the rest of the day went on as usual. Then came the night. Now all four of us were in my room. I was laying on the bed, the lower level, reading a book. And my friend, my roommate, she was on the top bed. She was studying. The other two were also in the same room. They were painting their nails. We had an old fan which was creaking a bit too. Everything was normal. Then suddenly, everything in the room started rattling. The plates, cups, glass bangles, everything. The lights went out and came back on. The fan switched off on its own, but just for about 5 seconds. That's it. We four of us, we just stopped doing whatever we're doing, and then we're looking at each other for an explanation. That's when we heard our cook call us out for dinner. So we all rushed out and we asked her if she heard anything, if there was any kind of earthquake or anything that happened. But she said no, everything was absolutely normal outside. It was just in our room. We four were really scared. And when we were eating our dinner, I told them what had happened to me that morning, which scared them even more. That night, we all slept in the same room on one single tiny bed because we were so scared. We barely slept, to be honest. And the next morning, we all called our parents. And one of the parents suggested that we go to a spiritual place, talk to a priest, and seek his advice. So we did that. We all went to a holy place. We spoke to the priest. We told him everything that happened. And we also told him that the hostel used to be a hospital before. He went back inside. He did some ritual. And he came back with a coconut tied in a black cloth. He told us to keep it in our room and not to lose it. And he also gave us some black bangles and he told us to wear it for the next at least a month. And we went back, we did everything he said, and there was no problem after that. Everything went back to normal. We were still scared for many nights. We were really hoping that whatever that presence is does not come back, and it did not. We kept that coconut safe. We put the bangles for many days and everything went back to normal. And our vacation time got over. The other girls came back to the hostel. When we told them, of course, they didn't believe us. But for the next whole year, nothing happened. Well, some stories are unbelievable. I think it has to happen to you, or you have to experience it. Only then you would believe that there are such things in nature. Well then, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button. We would love to bring more such videos to you. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.